So as I've been going to more Spash games recently, I've really began to notice what it's like to be a good parent of a student athlete. It has also been brought to my attention that not every parent follows this. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today we're going to be going over how to be a good sports parent. So I've broken it down into some simple steps that can be followed by any mom or dad. So step one is pretty obvious. You're gonna have a kid. Being a step parent works for this step as well. And that's really it for step one. Step two is pick what sports your child is playing. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. Your child isn't playing tennis, they're not swimming, and they're most definitely not doing taekwondo. You're not gonna let them do those things because, let's be honest, that's just a disgrace to the family name. For boys, it's simple. The sport just has to have a ball in it. Either that or it just needs to be super dangerous. And for girls, it's even more simple. Your choices are down to gymnastics or softball because those are the only ones that really include parent involvement, and I'm here to teach you how to be a good sports parent. So now that you've picked what sport your son or daughter is playing, you're pretty much done with that step too. Step three is just coach them up. With whatever sport you picked, it's now your responsibility to train your little athlete to be the best they can be at it. And you need to be an aggressive coach. Make your son hit off of the tee 100 times a day. Throw him bullet passes until he can catch them like a star wide receiver. Tell your daughter that she's not getting fed dinner until she perfects the balance beam on her hands. It is your job to be aggressive! You're not raising them so they can get good grades. You're raising them so they can be a stud! I mean, that's it for step three, really. Now this is kind of where we shift gears. Your son or daughter is going to get to the age where you can't coach them anymore and they're going to have their own coaches. Your job is, unfortunately, now to be a coach from the stands. You're probably wondering how you do this. It's actually not that hard. In fact, you just need to know some basic vocabulary terms. If your son's playing football, you better be yelling for him to wrap him up. In basketball, you better be telling the team to get that rebound. And if you're watching your daughter in gymnastics, you better be reminding her to stick it. These really just remind your athletes like what they're supposed to be doing. They don't need to be in depth at all. As a baseball player, I really love when people tell me to keep my eye on the ball. When I'm batting and someone tells me to keep my eye on the ball, it just gives me a totally different outlook on why I'm there. Like, it's really just so simple. You just have to, watch the ball with your eyes and use this 32-inch piece of metal to hit it. And, if you watch, you just gotta watch the ball. I'm also a really big fan of when parents yell for their kids to play some defense while they're playing basketball. Not only are you reminding your athlete of what they're supposed to do, but you've now let everyone in the stands know that you understand how possessions work in basketball and that it's time for the team that you're rooting for to play some defense. Another great coaching mechanic is yelling at your kid from behind home plate while he's playing left field and telling him to get his head in the game. The outfield can get boring every once in a while, but if you yell at him and make a big scene, his main focus is then gonna be baseball and not the fact that you're yelling at him from behind home plate. Did I mention it's your job to be as loud as possible? Now, I know what you're all thinking right now. Ethan, these things don't sound supportive at all. Now the truth is, these things help more than you think. But I still think it's a good idea to give step number 5, be the biggest fan. Now this step takes place mostly on social media where you're gonna brag about your student athlete as much as possible. So what you're gonna need to do for this is take as many pictures as you can. If you post a picture to Facebook of your son shooting a 3-pointer, no one's gonna know that he averages 20 seconds of playing time per game. If you post a picture of your son pitching to Facebook, no one's gonna know that he only hit the strike zone twice, walked 7 batters, was taken out with the bases loaded, where he later played shortstop in that game, let a ball go through his legs, and then threw the ball over the first baseman's head by, say, 3 feet. I'd say a good caption for that picture would be fireballer or ace or maybe Clayton Kershaw Jr. Now, step number 5 can sometimes blend together with 4 because as long as you're talking to them throughout the stands, you're both coaching them and kind of being their biggest fan. So that's about it for step number 5, but step 6 is a very important one. Step 6. Teach the refs how to do their job. I can't be the only one that thinks certified referees and umpires are terrible at their job. That's why we need a squadron of just super experienced dads that can yell at the referees. If the home team gets a shooting foul and you thought it was all ball, tell the referee that he's wrong. Now, here's a standard basketball court. So you're, of course, gonna be sitting on this side because that's the home team. Now, let's say a shooting foul happened right around here. It was on a layup. Right there. We're gonna mark that with a dot. So the ref is going to be standing right around here to view that, and when he calls that shooting foul, he's wrong, okay? He has the view right here. He can see where the shooting foul happened. That obviously didn't, but you're right here, and you can clearly see from over here that that wasn't a shooting foul. That's just, no. The ref needs to get a new pair of eyes. So to respond to this BS, you have some options. Now you can be direct with the play and say something like, "Come on, ref," and then explain why he's wrong. Or you can be indirect and bust out your witty dad jokes. Something totally original that no one's ever heard before, like, hey, maybe Helen Keller could have called that. Or you can even go with something like, "Can't choose the refs," and then name your son, "Can only choose how hard you play." I like this one because it's kind of respectful, so you might even get some divorced moms in the stands to agree with you. So now, not only are you a supportive parent, but you're the leader of some of the most intelligent people from Merrill, Wisconsin. And that just about wraps this video up. With those 6 simple steps, you're on your way to becoming the best sports parent you can be. If you have any questions about parenting related to sports, be sure to ask me in the comments and I'll be sure to reply to you. So anyways, I hope I helped you guys, and remember to always keep your eye on the ball.
They wanna rush in, cause a stampede. No handles, flying like a banshee. They use cheat codes, but we don't cheat though. No cliff notes, homie, we don't need those.